really helped him.
All right, let's take a look at the next fight. We're talking about Dale Brown from Calgary. Now calls Montreal his home. He is a fan favorite here in the city. 18-0-1, 14 knockouts, ranked number 2 by the WBC. The NABF Cruiserweight champion. It will be a 12-rounder. And as mentioned, Dale Brown has been inactive because of an injury. In fact, he's only fought once in 1999. The 5th of February, I should say. And before that, you have to go back to the 14th of October. So since October, he's fought only twice.
That's a long layoff, and this is, this is the most dangerous fight of his career. Sajjad Aziz is a tough, good fighter.
The last fight.
And here we go again.
Hilton Willett, the last fight.
That's right, Stéphane Ouellet and Hilton, the last fight that the two gentlemen.
Well, we know if it's anything half as good as the first one, we're going to get a sensational evening. And if it's twice as good, we'll be out of breath.
That's right. It was a terrific first fight. If you missed it, we felt that Stéphane Ouellet was ahead. And then late in that final round, Dave Hilton Jr. came back, and it was a TKO win for Davey Hilton Jr. with a stop. The fight stopped with 18 seconds to go.
We'll see a resume, 6 minutes.
In fact, we will later on during this broadcast see a 6-minute highlight of that last fight. And this leads up to tonight's finale between Stéphane Ouellet and Davey Hilton Jr.
Sensational fight again. If it's anything like the last one, and I was hearts in our mouths then, it was terrific. And I think the rivalry, if anything, has intensified between then and now. And there's Stéphane. It's going to be great. There's round 5. That was non-stop action, Dino.
You see Ouellet using his jab effectively, and I thought he did that early in that fight. And you see Ouellet with a comfortable 4-point lead just 4 rounds in, which means it was a sweep in those first 4 rounds.
That's it, but Hilton never gave up. You know, he just kept in there, and it was his heart that won that fight for him. He just outlasted Ouellet. Too much strength, and again, that intrepid spirit not to quit.
In the next round, Hilton started opening up just a bit, starting to score.
Beautiful, sharp, snapping jab Hilton had there. He was just brawling against Ouellet. No science, just keep out there and keep the punches on him, as you say.
It was almost as if Stéphane Ouellet quite wasn't up to par with Davey Hilton when it came to the adjustment factor in the fight. It seemed Hilton adjusted a lot easier as the fight moved on than Ouellet did.
It says, you know, I had that fight quite close, closer than Teddy Atlas did, the other analyst for ESPN2. And I think that, again, Hilton, as you say, he kept getting better as the fight got longer. And Stéphane might have underestimated him. Now he knows what he's been in with, so he knows not to underestimate him. And Davey just stood in there. Amazing performance by both men. The 9th round coming up.
And we're just showing you just a small portion of each round, and to me every round was exciting that night. Every round had its individual story, and yes, indeed, the mouthpiece kept on coming out, and that's because Ouellet broke his nose and had difficulty breathing through it, and he'd open up that mouth for a gasp of air, and the mouthpiece kept falling out.
Yes, and his nose kept swelling as the fight progressed. Davey Hilton claimed he twisted his ankle coming into the ring. Here they are into round 10, and you see Hilton now landing that jab. The penultimate round. Stéphane feeling he's got it won. At this point, Ouellet ahead by 7 points on Teddy Atlas's scorecard.
I would not have given Ouellet 7 extra points than Hilton entering round 11.
No, not at all. But it's like scoring a goal with the last second of play. You know? See the higher punch percentage there for Hilton. That's where it counted. Not the amount of blows landed, but the accuracy as he gets tagged by a lot of shots by Ouellet at that point.
Until the big comeback began in round 10, continued in round 11, and by round 12, Stéphane Ouellet simply didn't have anything left.
He's tattooing Hilton on the ropes there, but Davey again, that intrepid, indomitable will to win. And here's that final round that we'll never forget. Stéphane instead of boxing that far ahead, he's right there taking the fight to him. That's where your heart gets the best of your common sense.
You also saw Stéphane Ouellet juggle his mouthpiece, and Davey Hilton was asked about why he didn't tag him when he was doing that, and he said, well, I wasn't sure about the judges and the referee, so I just waited. I beat him the regular way, and he did.
He's landing those blows. There he goes, a little tight in the corner. A few seconds to go, and this will end it. Shot to the body, and shot to the head.
And Ouellet turning that way, away from Hilton, is a bad sign to any referee.
Well, that's it. That's where he's saying, I'm losing my composure. And this is like the last shot of Hilton's career. He either landed it or it would have been over. And through the ropes, you see, defenseless, and he rightfully stopped it, in my opinion.
Good call, referee Langlois. And Davey Hilton Jr., the Canadian middleweight champion. And tonight he will defend that title against the man who surrendered the title on November 27th, Stéphane Ouellet. But coming up next, Dale Brown against Abdul Aziz. This is for the NABF Cruiserweight title. It's a 12-rounder. And Brown will be wearing the gold trunks.
Well, this has got to be a terrific fight, an even matchup. Dale Brown risking everything tonight. His NABF title. He's now, by the way, ranked #1 by the WBC. Mandatory position for the world title.
For the next bout, Mr. Chuck Hassett. Monsieur Chuck Hassett. Les juges, Monsieur Ron Cunningham, Glenn Hirsch et Jean Lapointe.
We've got an international panel. Glenn Hirsch from Michigan.
Le prochain combat.
Chuck Hassett from California, the referee. Ron Lapointe from Montreal.
De la North American Boxing Federation. This next fight is a championship bout for the North American Boxing Federation Cruiserweight title. Un combat de 12 rondes, a 12-round bout.
Yeah.
Dans le coin rouge, in the red corner, portant la culotte noire et blanche et pesant 188 livres, wearing the black and white trunk and weighing 188 pounds. Un dossier de 12 victoires, dont 4 knockouts, 4 nuls et 4 défaites. A record of 12 wins, 4 knockouts, 4 losses and 4 draws. De Detroit, Michigan, from Detroit, Michigan, Sajjad Abdul Aziz. Aziz. Dans le coin bleu, in the blue corner, et portant la culotte jaune et noire, pesant 188 livres, the yellow and black trunks weighing 188 pounds, le champion, avec une fiche de 18 victoires, dont 14 knockouts, aucune défaite, aucune nulle, a record of 18 wins, no losses and no draws. Le champion de la North American Boxing Federation et premier aspirant WBC chez les lourds légers. The North American Boxing Federation champion and first contender for the WBC Cruiserweight. De Calgary, mais s'entraîne à Montréal, Dale Brown.
The referee Chuck Hassett is a 30-year veteran. His father once fought Billy Conn, the great light heavyweight champ.
Dale Brown is the current NABF Cruiserweight title holder, which is an all-important pit stop on his way to the checkered flag, which happens to be the world title. 27 years old, undefeated. And I can say a really nice guy.
Yes, he is. And I hope, Dino, that play on words, pit stop, because his name used to be Terry Pitts, Sajjad Aziz. I hope it's not a real pit stop for Dale Brown on his road to the title. I never saw longer trunks in a fight in my life, by the way, than on Sajjad Aziz tonight. I don't even know how he's allowed to get away with it.
But he has LP on the back of his trunks, which the initials of his original name before he converted to Islam. Dale Brown has just simply Brown across his trunks in yellow. And we are looking forward to this one.
Chuck Hassett's worked nearly 100 World Championship fights. One of the best referees in the world. And we've got two of the best fighters. Hoder, a big win for him. Stopped him in the third round. Aziz. He was fighting as a heavyweight before he moved down to cruiserweight. They just said too much weight and too much height he was conceding. But you see, there's not an ounce of fat on this man.
This fight is underway. Something's wrong with the bell. We didn't hear it, but it's underway. Interesting to see who the early aggressor will be here. Once again, Aziz in the solid black trunks, Brown in the yellow trunks. And Brown moves in with 3 left hands, hoping to back Aziz down.
Dale is always in great shape, but you can see Aziz also.
Dale Brown is very methodical. Intelligence is one of his weapons.
As you know, nice guy, well-spoken. But I hope that doesn't mean that nice guys finish last, in the words of Leo DeRocha.
I spoke with him yesterday, Brown, and he told me when it came to the Ouellet-Hilton fight, he picks Ouellet. And he says, Stéphane Ouellet is ready because I sparred with him. I know. And I believe it.
That would have given him a lot of skill and speed, because you spar with a lighter man, he's got that speed and the reflexes generally, and a heavier man.
Aziz working the jab, keeping Brown away, and now Aziz connects with a right hand over the top.
And both guys cautious because they know they're each in with a good fight.
Aziz has 12 wins, 4 of those 12 wins by knockout. Brown 18 wins, 14 by knockout.
On paper, a harder puncher, but sometimes that's deceptive because Aziz has fought some very good guys that you can't generally knock out.
Brown moves in with a combination. This is Wildly.
Not much for the referee, Chuck Hassett, to do at this point. They're just, no clinching here.
It's a totally expected first round where you have 2 very good fighters trying to learn as much as they can from their opponent and then using it a little later on during the fight.
Now Aziz is from Michigan. We've got a judge from Michigan. So there's no advantage here for Brown with the officials. And an American referee.
Good right hand by Brown, a short one late in that round. That got through.
Probably won the round for him in a very cautious first round. You could give this to either fighter. You could call it a draw, I think, the first round.
Round 1 is into the books, and certainly we'll get a chance to see some of the highlights of that opening round and check the corners. That's
Stéphane LaRouche in the center, with Yvonne Michel hanging over the ropes giving instructions to Dale. Has to be pleased with his performance there. Again, they didn't take any risks. Dale sizing up his man.
Tell you what, the only line combination in that corner from when Eric Lucan was out there, LaRouche is in and Abe Purvin.
Yes.
There's a scratch.
That's correct. So I guess Abe Purvin's getting ready with Stéphane Ouellet, getting taped up in the dressing room.
As we see Bob Miller in the corner, he's the cut man, and certainly Yvonne Michel directing Dale Brown.
And there's the champions, Juan Gomez, #1 contender for Gomez. That is Dale Brown here tonight. Fabrice Piozzo, he was still fought on the Lennox Lewis card. And there was a change in Piozzo got injured. Dale got injured. The fight was postponed.
Round 2 is underway here at the Molson Center. Aziz, the early aggressor here in round 2, but Brown turns him around against the ropes.
Now we'll see somebody will start to be the aggressor. Somebody must have seen something in that first round and would know he might have an advantage. The more confident guy will be the aggressor now.
was nicknamed the Fighting Cowboy.
And he had those cowgirls in the ring with him prior to the fight.
He's adjusted to Montreal well. Could never tell. We met him for the first time in this city that he has only been here a couple of years.
I tell you, you can never tell he was a fighter if he met him for the first time, because his personality is so outgoing and gregarious. There doesn't seem to be any fighter in him.
Well, the fighters pretty much have picked up here in round 2 where they left off in round 1. It has not been a thrilling fight so far. They are still studying each other. They are still jabbing, and we still have not seen any heavy blows.
No, really watching one another from afar. I'll tell you, when you come to fight for a title, you've got to be the aggressor. So one thing Aziz should be doing is be more aggressive. He's got to take the title from Brown, and he's not pressing that hard to do it. Now, while Dale isn't doing much either, he's got that championship to be won from him.
I think it may take Dale a couple of rounds just to shake loose some of that rustiness because of the injury he suffered.
Aziz very focused in his eyes, but again, he's not doing anything in the ring. Aziz had a lot of immigration problems this week getting into Canada. Sort of distracted him.
We talk about the injury to Dale Brown. We're talking about a thumb injury, by the way. He's only fought once since February 5th.
And that will affect your confidence, you know, because you're afraid to throw your punches. You're afraid you might get injured again. He's winning this round slightly, but again, it's a fight that could go either way, and the crowd's starting to get a little bit uncomfortable with it. I think Aziz is a bit intimidated.
Brown fighting the patient fight.
Whoever throws just a few punches could win any of these rounds.
It's interesting. Brown threw a combination and backed off immediately, seeing how Aziz would come out of that situation. And we'll see if they can pick it up, both of them, in round 3. They need to.
I hope so. We can go run a tape of Martin and Lewis again. I don't mean Jerry and Dino. The other Dino.
We don't have the sound in the corners. We lost it.
Well, I can imagine you got Dale in there. They poured water over his head. He seems to be breathing a little bit heavy. He might be tense, you know, like you say, that layoff, broken thumb, risking his #1 spot, risking his title. And Aziz, they've tried to intimidate him, said this is a dangerous fight. Why take a risk like a guy like that when you're #1 contender in the world? So, you know, that's something that weighs on a fighter's mind.
It's been a very difficult week for Dale Brown when it comes to focusing in on this fight because he has been the media star. Both Stefan Ouellet having difficulty with English, and maybe Davey Hilton not being as available as he should. Dale Brown has been called upon over and over again by media types like me to promote this fight through conversation on radio or television, and he's done quite a bit of that over the last couple of days, and that can distract you.
Absolutely. Sometimes a good personality works to a disadvantage. Because you got to serve the press, the promotion, but you also got to do your work in the gym and concentrate on the fight. Be focused.
Well, right now, neither fighter has landed a big punch or, of course, received one. And they really can't do this kind of stuff for 12 rounds.
Now, if I was in Aziz's corner, I'd tell him you've got to go take this fight. If you're going to win it, it's now 2 rounds into it. You got to start the fight. You can't just stand back and wait. You got to win this title in the other man's hometown. You just can't expect to have it handed to you.
Well, Brown's starting to work the jab in there, trying to find a gap in between the gloves, and Aziz bopping and weaving and coming back, and a good little counter punch on the part of Brown. And right now Aziz is turned around, and is there a problem to Aziz's eye? He got poked.
Well, you can't get thumb when there are thumbless gloves. Now, what is this? You know, you get caught on the edge of the thumb of the glove. Chuck Hassett on the box on. Is that a sign that he's looking to quit? Let's see.
Good punch by Aziz there as he came back and rocked Brown.
Maybe he's playing possum.
Went right after him, too.
That might have gotten him angry. Something is wrong with Aziz's eye. I don't know. Something on the glove or something he's complaining about. whistling, and they want him to pick up that pace.
They certainly want them to exchange more blows than they have in this fight, as we are in the final minute of round 3.
There's a cautionary look by Chuck Hassett at Aziz, something that he's catching there. I don't know quite what it is.
I suspect we have dug trenches here ringside, and we'll be inside these trenches for quite a while when it comes to this fight.
Aziz is trying to aggress. There's a cut on the right eye of Dale Brown, above the right eye.
Yes, it's a minor cut.
Yes, but I mean, that's, again, it's in that bad spot. Remember Willard Lewis, the last fight. Now Aziz should see that.
You see a trickle of blood coming down the right side.
Left hook by Aziz, and that opened up the cut. Now it's down all the side cheek of Dale Brown, and this is in a dangerous position.
Oh my.
But he's got a great cut man in Bob Miller in his corner, but now that changed the dynamic of the fight, gave this round to Aziz.
I think we may see Dale Brown a little more aggressive when he emerges from his corner. This round is over.
A little caution on the face of Yvonne Michel, concern perhaps.
Oh, that's a bigger cut than I thought it was.
Got Abe Purvin back in the corner. Here goes Bob Miller to work.
Bob Miller is the key man here, as Dale Brown has been cut.
And they're working on it. Again, it's not as bad as the cut Willard Lewis. Chuck Hassett in the corner saying basically it's nothing to Jerry Boland, the inspector. And again, it's early in the fight, small cut. He's the champ. They're not going to stop it now. Here we'll see what happened. There's a left hook in the right hand. That left hook opened it up. And now we've got some drama here.
Yes, and I think we're going to see a change in strategy here as well.
We've got so much Vaseline, it's almost coming off the nose of Dale Brown. Dale Brown looks very tense to me.
That's a good point.
It looks like a lot of tension there, and he's not opening up like he should. Now Aziz is taking the fight to Dale Brown.
And I think with Dale Brown being cut here, you may see him try to unleash some defense, and that would leave him open. And you see these fighters mix it up a little more.
Well, Dale Brown's never lost a fight. He's never been knocked out. We saw when Willard Lewis got cut, he took the fight to Martin, to Wesley Martin. Let's see if Dale Brown does the same thing.
The only blemish on Dale Brown's mark is a draw.
And sometimes a cut can be shock therapy. It can inspire Aziz to fight harder, it can inspire Brown to fight harder. And Dale is pressing his fight. Now go right in, Dale. Don't let him do that. Dropping his arms, waving him around. Maybe I think he's playing possum. But Dale can't let himself get intimidated.
Brown quite hasn't opened it up yet in this round, round 4. This is scheduled for 12 rounds, but again, Dale Brown was cut in round number 3.
And that blood's starting to trickle down again, so it must be a bad cut, Dino, because it started almost immediately into this round.
Short little right hand on the part of Brown. Found some space in between the gloves. Again, Brown comes back, but he has not really thrown a giant punch. He's been jabbing and trying to reach and find a space and a gap, but he has not unleashed a right hand, and right there Aziz does.
Now Dale rips a shot to the body, his best punch of the fight. He's got him on the ropes, but he's got to land punches. He can't just stand there. Now he's landing. Aziz comes back, and this fight is opening up. He backs Brown off.
This has the makings for a terrific fight.
Terrific now. I think that cut changed the whole dynamic. Now Dale taking the fight to Brown, but I'm giving to Aziz, I should say. I'm giving the round out to Aziz unless Dale starts to land something.
Now moves in.
Dale's got to keep punching. He can't stop. Now see, Aziz took a break there, and Dale let him get away with it. You got to be mean to be the champion. Aziz has that goatee in the Muslim style. There's the cut again, open. You can see the blood trickling down.
And Brown was hit by a right hand by Aziz, and he winced, not in pain, but in disappointment, particularly towards himself for leaving himself open that way.
He's got to open up this fight.
Now, Dale Brown is tight, and he's frustrated right now.
Exactly. Fight. You know, there's a psychological war in boxing.
Stand by, I'm going on camera, stand by.
You know, it's not just what the fighters do. Sometimes you can con a fight and get the advantage, and I think Aziz is con Dale Brown. He's an ex-convict. He's from Detroit, the home of Tommy Hearns, James Toney, and I think he might be a little bit intimidated by that reputation there.
And also the fact that Dale Brown has been inactive for such a long period of time. His last fight was February 5th. So he has to shake off that rustiness. And as he was doing that, all of a sudden, he got cut in round number 3. And it was time for Dale Brown to change fight plan. And we haven't really seen it in the last round. I think we'll see it as this fight progresses.
This is it. I'd say go, open up. Don't worry about that cut. Force this fight. You got to come out, maybe stop him. But it's turned into a good fight.
Brown in the gold or yellow trunks. Abdul Aziz in the solid black trunks, which are slowly slipping down.
I mean, those trunks, it looks like they're clam diggers or something like that. Culottes. Chuck Hassett warning Aziz.
Well, if you like technical fights, you'll love this one. And you can sense that the best is yet to come.
Almost seen 4.9 rounds for Brown, 4.4 for Aziz. So these are the rounds they've scored their most knockouts in, on average. Again, see, he's giving him, he's stretching out his arms. That means a sign of being a bit fatigued when Aziz does that. And Dale has to take advantage. Just walk right in. Don't stand back and watch him hit him with a punch.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dale just walked into a left hand there by Aziz. You have to watch that as well.
Beautiful jab.
Dale working a little harder, a little more effectively in this round. Trying to take this fight to Aziz, and he missed with a right hand, Dale did.
I think the right hand would be the most effective blow for him, because you see how low Aziz carries that left. Almost down to his ankle practically.
Dale Brown has hit Aziz with a couple of body shots, but I don't think he's really hit him flush yet.
No, and he's getting hit there. Oh, is that a knockdown? Slip,
they rule it a slip.
But it was the end of a combination, so I mean Aziz had advantage on that in that combination of blows.
Brown comes back with a body shot. Short right hand by Aziz.
As I said, this is the toughest fight of Dale Brown's career, and it's proving to be so.
Dale Brown will have to reach deep and try to come up with something more in round 6 and the rounds after that.
Dale landing the jab very well, and he missed with that. See, Dale should be fighting inside. A good tough fighter would fight inside, not wait for the break. Land punches at every opportunity.
Think Dale is respecting him a bit too much?
I think so, yes. Perfect way of describing it. You know, too much respect, too much awe.
After all, Aziz has won 12 fights, but he only has 4 knockouts.
Now he's mixing up a bit better, but again, Aziz pressing the fight.
Good left hand by Brown. And that stunned Aziz.
Now Dale should jump right on it. Not wait. He waits too long.
Dale Brown waited a little long, and that allowed Aziz to gather himself. But that was the best punch of the fight for Dale Brown. As we see Stéphane Ouellet. The tape job has begun. For those of you watching us live, the Hilton-Ouellet fight will get underway at 10:37 Eastern.
And what a magnificent crowd here tonight. Looks like 19,000.
You don't do that. Jump on it. And you flip.
There's Stéphane Ouellet. He sees himself. He's ready.
Still to come, Stefan Willett and Davey Hilton Jr. And right now, Dale Brown is involved in a war.
And by the way, I have Aziz ahead by 1 point. I've got the fight 48-47 Aziz. I don't know how Gijutra has it at this point. But there's plenty of fight left in. There's 7 more rounds to go.
This is round 6 of 12.
Now, between rounds, I could hear Dale Brown's, Sajjad Aziz's trainer extolling him. You can't lay back. You got to step on it. And he came out with a couple of jabs early in the round.
Terrific work on the part of Bob Miller as that cut has been closed down. Dale Brown up by 2 according to Guy Jutra after 5 rounds.
I've got it Aziz by 1. So people see fights different ways.
I think Abdul Aziz knows that Dale Brown is a champion and he has to come in here and soundly beat him. I don't think Dale Brown can afford to believe that theory inside the ring.
Dale, again, it's got to be. Now, the cut hasn't opened up. He's done a wonderful job, as you said, Bob Miller. So now Dale should press this fight.
Good left combination there by Brown. That last punch got through. Aziz misses. Brown now starting to do a little more work in this round and a work that is effective for him.
His jab is the whole key to this fight. Dale needs a beautiful jab to snap that out. Yeah, like he did there.
Remember, Dale hurt Aziz late in round number 5 and then pretty much ran out of track.
Now he's got on a beautiful combination by Dale.
Good combination by Dale Brown.
And that's what he needs to keep doing to win this fight.
Good right on the part of Brown.
Another nice right to the body.
And that hurt. He saw Aziz come down with the hands right away. He dropped them.
Dale backs out of the range. Dale's boxing very well this round.
I think we're seeing the real Dale Brown right here.
Got to follow right up. See, Dale needs to jump right on it.
We talked about him being methodical. We talked about him taking apart his opponents. Well, we're starting to see it right here. He needs to continue this, though. Can't be satisfied with a performance of 1 round. And right there, Dale Brown took a left hand.
He's still snapping that jab. He needs that a little more killer instinct there. There he goes, right on the ropes. Don't let him out.
Went to the body with that flurry. Good right hand to the head on the part of Brown.
And I think there's some blood on the nose of Aziz. He might have drawn blood from Aziz's nose now.
And I think we're seeing Abdul Aziz show the first signs of fatigue.
Yes, he's backing up. Dale is the aggressor. He's throwing 1 punch at a time.
A wild throw on the part of Aziz, which missed.
And I believe that round was for Dale.
Well, Dale Brown coming back in this fight. Starting to be the aggressor, starting to take the fight to Abdul Aziz.
And if you look at Aziz in the corner, his legs are straight out there. He's breathing harder this round. I think, as you say, the fatigue's getting to him as we watch Davey Hilton being taped by his father, Dave Sr. in the corner.
Look at the care behind that.
That's it. Well, that's a father's loving care. You can't replace that with anything.
In and out from your right. Okay? Fight on your right. Side to side, tight defense.
Stefan LaRouche wants Dale Brown to move to the right. Fight from the right.
And I can't even see a sign of a cut on Dale Brown's eye now, the way Bob Miller's worked on it.
Terrific job on the part of Bob Miller.
See all the aggression of Brown in that round.
Dale Brown has to continue here in this round where he left off in the last.
We're at the midway point of the fight, and I've got it dead even.
At first there were some cheers, some whistles, but the fans have gotten quietly and slowly into this fight. It's been a terrific fight. 2 guys who are willing to go the distance, willing to show some of the better aspects of their fight game. And they're doing it right now. And this fight has gotten better and better as we moved along.
Yes, and there's two guys who know how to fight. Oh, good right hand by Aziz now. Got to bring out the best in Brown. Good at matching each other punch for punch now, Dino. And Aziz has some problem with his right eye. He's flicking it. He's wincing. He's winking it. I don't know if that's from that residue of the glove.
Yeah, I think he was poked, thumbed in round 2, and he was. It wasn't an intentional thumbing, but did occur.
Dale came back with a nice combination. This is an even round. Hard fight to score for me.
Something's going to give at one point in this fight. And I think Dale Brown has better punching power than Abdul Aziz.
Oh, good left hook by Dale.
And that may be the determining factor.
He's starting to snap his punches in there. 1- and 2-punch combinations, which is what Dale has to do. And Aziz is waiting a bit too long now.
Aziz is lunging with that left hand, leaving himself open with a good left cross if Brown elects to do that.
And one of the exceptional things about all of Yvonne Michel's fights is their great conditioning. Good right hand by Dale Brown, by the way. And as the fight progresses, you'll see the conditioning take its toll. And that's where Dale Brown's advantage will come from. Now he's got him in off corner, and he's hitting it.
Good stuff on the part of Dale Brown. Good combination. Right now he's wearing down Aziz. Aziz was sharp in the first 90 seconds of this round, but then Brown starting to take over, which of course is what Don Majeski said when it comes to conditioning. That's usually the case. Conditioning pays off late in the round.
And late in the fight.
Yes.
But Dale has manhandled him this round. I mean, he's not dominating completely, but he's in charge of this fight without question.
Brown sneaks in a short left hand. And we are going to round number 8.
And that round for Dale Brown, unquestionably.
Deep breath, again, suck air from the mouth. From the mouth. Some water on my head. Very good, very good. He's not the same guy.
That's enough. Man, what is it, man? What is it? You got to push yourself. You got to go that extra mile now. This is that extra mile we talk about. You're not moving your back leg at all. And you keep getting up under here, and this is wide open, and you won't release this. You got to release some shots. And not enough of this. This will work, but you ain't doing it. You're staying this way.
Some terrific advice on the part of Aziz's corner.
Sajjad Aziz is going into what we call defeat mode. You can see he's slowing down. You can see the corner telling him now, you're not fighting the fight you're supposed to fight. That shows he's losing.
Dale Brown is starting to control this fight. He got off to a very slow start. In round number 3, Brown was cut. But right now, Dale Brown is leading by 4 after 7 rounds, according to Guy Jutra, our ringside judge.
Well, I've got it close. I got him by 1, but I see he's getting to be in control of this fight.
One of the first times I've seen Brown really try to fire a bomb just seconds ago, and he missed wildly with a right hand. Right there, he deflected away a right hand on the part of Aziz. So when offense doesn't work, kick in the defense.
No, there's a term, ring generalship, when you're in control of what's happening in the ring, and that's what Dale Brown is showing now. He's taking control of the fight. As you say, he's beating him offensively and defensively. And Aziz is doing just enough to lose at this point. He's beating him to the jab, Dale is.
Right now you see Brown just back up Aziz into the ropes. Hit him when he wants to, back away, come back for some more, like there. And you're right, Aziz isn't doing what he was doing earlier in this fight.
Trying to land one punch at a time. Got through with that jab, but again, Dale, when he lands the combination, he takes complete control. Now, Aziz shows aggressive, spun him around out of the clinch, didn't back off and say, I'm sorry, took advantage of that disadvantage.
There was a method to Dale Brown's madness early in this fight. Paced himself, didn't panic when he was cut, And right now he's taking the fight to Aziz.
And a good right hand by Dale. He's gained confidence as the fight goes. There again is a beautiful combination.
Good little left hand there on the part of Dale Brown to end that flurry. And right now it's all Dale Brown in round 8.
And he's got his confidence in there. He's not worried about the cut. I say a tribute to the third man in the ring. You do not see Chuck Hassett.
No.
That's how you control a fight. There's ring generalship for referees too. And this guy, he's probably one of the 2 or 3 best referees in the world.
And these guys came to fight, both of them. We haven't seen any clutching and grabbing and clinging that sometimes we see in fights. They want to fight.
They're all pro.
Yeah. Brown moves in here with under 30 seconds to go in round 8. Good right hand there on the part of Aziz. Came over the top.
Yeah, and he's been in the fight. He hasn't lost it yet. He still can pull it out, but Dale has been more aggressive. His punches are landing. More confident. A little flicker in the lights there.
That's right. We almost had a power failure here in Montreal.
Right hand by Dale again over the top.
This fight is going to a 9th round. Scheduled for 12. You see Fatih Masoui. He's coming up next. Masoui
Kind of a wide left hook. He's always putting his head that way.
will be fighting Andre Blais, both undefeated. You see Masoui's record of 3-0 with 3 knockouts. Andre Blais 5-0 with 2 knockouts. Blais, a former kickboxer. Masoui, a former Olympic medalist.
And they're very high on Matsui, the Interbox team here. This is going to be a terrific young prospect. And again, the latest star in their stable.
I don't think you're ever a former Olympic medalist. I think.
No, I think like always like the president or something.
Yeah, that's right. You're the president. He's still President Carter, isn't he?
That's right.
Or Bush. Dale Brown, the current NABF Cruiserweight champion. And round number 9 is underway.
Now, something is wrong. Frustration on the part of Aziz. There's more. Dale's gone past the 8th round a bit longer than Aziz has. He fought longer fights.
Just by 1, though.
Yes. And it's a very evenly matched fight. They have got to have told Aziz, you've got to come out to take this fight because you're losing. You're blowing this fight.
That's right. We're seeing a lot more aggressive behavior on the part of Aziz. He's backing Brown up. Brown is starting to move dance. Realizing that his opponent means a little more business here in this round, and probably Brown is hoping to wear down his opponent 90 seconds in and then start the assault late in the round.
Well, now, from my perspective, if Dale wins this round, he can get nothing less than a draw. So Aziz has to know that, and I think other people have him losing by a far wider margin than I do.
Aziz is throwing a lot of punches in this round, but he's not connecting very often.
No, and as you noticed, he throws the punches and moves backwards instead of throwing the punches and moving forward.
It's called respect.
And here comes Dale ripping into the body, and Aziz fires back.
Good right hand on the part of Dale Brown.
I hurt Aziz with that. He needs to follow up a little bit more. He needs to throw the right hand. Right in our corner. Underneath, nice shot by Dale.
Yeah, that was a nice uppercut on the part of Brown. It was to the body. And Brown comes right back with a flurry. A good body shot to the ribs.
Dale's cautious. He knows he's got a minute to hurt him. Good shot to the head. Best punch to me of the fight.
Aziz is in trouble. He's in the corner here directly above us. Dale Brown is on the move.
Now the fans want to knock him out.
And Brown needs to throw some punches here. He's looking for an opening.
Got to let off. A bit too cautious now for Dale.
I think so too. I agree with you. Dale had to move in and he failed to move in there. And now Aziz has backed himself away from that corner.
He let him off the hook there. Dale showing too much respect, and Aziz is tired because he's breathing very heavily now.
I don't think Aziz has the punching power left. But that's easy for us to say here ringside.
And now Aziz is in his corner, which is a bad place for Dale because he gets the instructions of his trainer.
Brown definitely has pursued Aziz in this round, with the exception of the first 40 seconds where Aziz came out strongly but missed on most of his punches.
And I think Dale could have knocked Aziz out if he had really wanted to, Dino. Another nice, solid shot of a jab.
Good left
nice
hand.
combination. Solid round for Dale Brown. You could hear very good from Yvonne Michelle in the corner.
Dale Brown starting to run away with this fight right now.
A bit lazy on defense.
I gotta be really careful when he's on the ropes.
Yes, that's it. You know, bringing you deliberately. He's doing that. Bring you there.
Dale Brown says I have to be really careful when he's on the ropes.
Because he's tired, and it is his only chance to be close to you. Because in the middle of the ring, you're moving, so it cannot be close in the row. He knows you're close. Very good. Never jump in without your jab. Okay? Never get in without the jab. Okay. Very good.
Let's watch him.
Yeah. And combination punches. The danger is from his right.
Put a ball on my head.
Hey, when you go on your right after, he's ready for that uppercut when you're on the side.
Okay.
Make sure you're on the side. You go on your right, throw that uppercut there.
One of the best innovations in motor racing is the camera inside the car. One of the best innovations in boxing is the live microphone in the corner. And now we understand Dale Brown a little better. His corner urges him to be careful. When he's in close with Aziz in a corner, that's when Brown has to be most careful. And obviously they've been studying the films, and they noticed that Brown can hurt you in a corner on the counterpunch.
Well, you know, the fans and us, we wanted to win by knockout, but the corner, they wanted to win, period. Yeah. So again, they urge caution, and perhaps that's the best way to do it. A win is a win. So he's following the instructions of his corner, maybe against his better instinct as a fighter.
Brown is up by 6 now, according to Guy Jutra, our ringside judge.
I've got him by 3. So for me, if he loses every round from now on, the worst he'll get is a draw. Aziz needs to try to knock the man out from him. Good right
hand. Right hand by Dale Brown over the top to the side of the face of Abdul Aziz. And Abdul Aziz is showing signs of a tired fighter right now.
There's a right hand by Abdul. Now you notice they told him not to force Aziz in the corner on the rope, so that's maybe why Dale's not as aggressive as he should be.
Good right hand on the part of Aziz there. He connected.
Absolutely. Dale's very aggressive right now. You see, he's landing. He wants to keep in the center of the ring and land punches. Aziz, when he backs off the ropes, Dale backs off because he doesn't want to take the chance.
When I was working with Dale on television, he really stressed the importance of the 1-2-3 combination. Left, right, and then left to the top. The first 2 punches to the body and then the third punch to the top. And you know what? We haven't seen him do that very often, but when he has done it with success.
Very effective with that. Yes, I'd like to see him do it more often. No question he's dominating the fight.
And right now Aziz is missing badly.
Beautiful body shots by Dale. Now he's dead tired.
That hurt.
Dale needs to unload. He can knock him out now if he wants to.
Brown moves in. Aziz against the ropes. Brown knows he needs to be careful when he has Aziz in the corner. Aziz will be looking for the uppercut here. Tries to keep Brown away with the left jab. Brown fakes the punch. Comes in with a good right hand. And a left. Good body shot. Brown still the aggressor. Aziz missing. And when round number 11 begins, Brown will be comfortably ahead.
Again, Brown, because of the corner telling you because he's not as aggressive on the ropes as he should be, or we want him to be, I should say. But he's winning the fight. The crowd doesn't like it the way he's winning. He's winning very handily.
Dale Brown is being methodical here tonight against Abdul Aziz. They're working on the eye again, as you see. Dale Brown suffered the cut in round number 3.
And that is something, that is an inhibition for a fighter, you know. You got to cut, you got to worry about that. You don't know how big it is. You can't see it yourself as the fight's progressing. But Dale's been consummate in his performance. Let's see him again here as he just manhandled Aziz.
You gotta stop it, boy. Let's do this, man. We worked too hard for this shit. What in this? What's wrong with it?
This won't go. This will not be a knockout. It'll go to limit, but Dale Brown, I predict, will win it.
Change things.
John Brown is telling Aziz you got 6 minutes to change things. Time's running out, Laura.
Every time they flash Davey Hilton Jr. on the giant screen, most of the fans here at the Molson Center react negatively.
Well, we'll have a real hero and villain tonight then. The line is drawn in the sand.
You know, that has happened before, and I've seen Davey Hilton Jr. turn a crowd around. I really have.
Last November.
Yes.
Well, this is Dale Brown's fight to lose. I mean, Aziz has got to come out and throw bombs, and he's just not doing it.
Yeah, I think we'll see Brown a little more cautious. We saw a bit of frustration on the part of Aziz after that last flurry, and Brown comes in, and Aziz turtles a bit.
Brown could knock him out now if he wants to. A little similar with Eric Lucas. Does he want to win, or does he want to win by knockout?
Well, this being his toughest fight, I'm sure he just wants to survive this fight and fight for a world championship down the road.
And that could be his very next fight.
Not a time in his life that Dale Brown has to make a foolish mistake by opening up needlessly, like there.
Yes, good right hand.
As Aziz landed a cross.
Here's Dale landing to the body. Dale very cautious when Aziz is on the ropes.
Next fight will be Misawi.
Coming up next, here on Viewer's Choice, Fatih Masawi up against Andre Black.
3 good left hands by Dale Brown. He's completely dominating Aziz now. Oh,
Aziz
hurt
has
Aziz,
hands
run about.
full.
Dale could jump right on top and stop him now if he wants to.
Aziz is off balance, and his knees have been weakened.
I think Aziz is exhausted, frankly. Going 12 rounds, this is 11. He's never been that distance before. It's new territory for him.
I just don't think Dale has been throwing as many punches as he could, but anyway, or can.
Now he's ripping into him. Aziz is tired, no question.
Good
Dale.
body shot by Brown. Follows up
Beautiful.
with a combination to the head.
He can knock him out if he wants now.
Aziz in the corner. Fires back a straight left, and that backs up Brown.
Brown knows that admonition he got from the corner. Don't fight him in the corner. Don't fight him on the ropes. And he backs out.
Here comes Brown again, and Brown lets him go.
He's manhandling him, Aziz. He'll go the limit. Fought a smart fight. Maybe not the most of a crowd-pleasing fight, but he's won this fight by a wide margin.
I think so, too. I think he's punishing Aziz right now. Good right hand. 1 round to go in this fight. And Dale Brown, who suffered a cut in round number 3,
This is Andre Blais.
has rallied and come back and taken control of this fight as we see the former kickboxer Andre Blais 5-0, and he's going up against Fatih Masawi next, who's 3-0.
2 undefeated fights should be very exciting.
In fact, when you talk about kickboxers becoming boxers, you have to think of Alain Bonamy, who is doing color on our sister station Indigo.
And he's made a very successful career as a professional fighter. Probably one of the most successful former kickboxers.
Get careless.
And I think he'll be part of the program next time around.
Now they're telling Aziz not to get careless. I think he's got to get as careless as he can to win this fight by knockout. He has no other way to win this fight.
Do they honestly believe that Aziz is ahead?
Well, they must be watching a different fight than you and I are. Chuck Caster telling him to clean up the water in Dale's corner.
This is the 12th and final round between Dale Brown and Abdul Aziz. Aziz at 12-4-4, Brown at 18-0-1. And you're right, Don Majeski. This is Dale Brown's fight to lose because he's comfortably ahead as far as we're concerned.
Now let's see. I hope he doesn't pull a Stephane Ouellet
No.
for his sake.
He's in better shape than Stephen Ouellet. was in his fight last time around. Round seems relatively fresh.
He's getting hit with some shots because he's sort of not trying to take any chances here. Aziz could win this round if Dale doesn't really do anything aggressive, figuring he's got it comfortably won. So Dale still has to try to fight. I think you should try to win as many rounds as you can.
But I think that Aziz has come out relatively stronger early in each of the rounds, the last 5 or 6, and then has really faded badly with 90 seconds to go. And that's something to watch here in round 12.
Absolutely. He's won this first minute of the fight, of the round, I should say. Now Dale, again, very cautious here. Doesn't want to take a chance. I'm sure in Yvonne Michel's mind is the Wallet-Hilton fight of last November. Dale not throwing many punches.
Dale keeping the gloves up as well and deflecting some of those punches.
Now again, Aziz is winning this round, no question, but he needs to win the fight by knockout.
Good right hand on the part of Dale Brown. As Aziz went down to cover up, Brown came over the top and connected.
The crowd doesn't like the way he's winning, but he's winning, you know. Too cautious, but that's, you know, he's so far ahead, I guess if he's no sense taking a chance.
Now Brown pursuing Aziz in the corner, and I think we're seeing the fatigue factor come into play here when it comes to Abdul Aziz. There's Brown now starting to work, and Aziz firing back.
I would give Aziz this round, but I won't give him the fight. You know, Dale figures he won it. He's not going to take a chance. Under a minute to go now. And Aziz just is not landing any power punches to try to do anything. Back in the corner there. Dale landing now. He's opening up.
Bit of a quirk in the record. Aziz has fought 20 times, has 4 draws. You don't see that very often.
No. It obviously shows he's in close fights, and he probably lost those, we'll call those draws, in the hometown of his opponent. Dale content to let him go into the corner, not follow up.
And now Brown continuing with the assault. Good body shots. Under 15 seconds to go in this fight. Referee moves in. It's a title fight.
And Chuck Hassett did a masterful job. Dale Brown's won it. I'll give Aziz this last round, but it's Dale Brown's fight, and he's retained his title.
We'll have to wait until the decision, but Dale Brown apparently has kept his NABF title. And though the fans boo, this was a very good boxing match.
I got it 115, 112. We'll see how it is with the judges. One American judge from Michigan, the home state of Aziz, and 2 Canadian judges.
Well, you can tell by the reaction from both corners who has won this fight. The Interbox corner obviously feeling they have. A lot more joyous than Aziz, but now Aziz has got his hands up in the air.
Well, I think there's a sense of false bravado there.
The belt is inside the ring, and the champion of this fight will be wearing that belt. Stéphane Larouche telling Dale Brown, hey, you did it all right. You came in with the left, and Pervin cutting off the gloves.
116, 112. I'm sorry, we checked my score. 4 points for Dale Brown. Good fight.
Just wondering if that cut above the right eye of Dale Brown will keep him inactive for a while.
It didn't look that bad. As I say, you can't even see it. It's hardly discernible now, of course.
But if Interbox is coming back with a program on the 29th of June, that may be a little too soon for Dale Brown. I don't know.
Yeah, I would hold him off. I'd have him come back September 10th. Particularly, as I said, he very well could be fighting for the world title in his next fight. He's the mandatory contender in the WBC, Jose Gomez, and the Teozo fight. Good. Congratulations. Good performance.
Dale comes over and I said great stuff. Dale Brown says you better have said good stuff on the television about me.
It was a consummate performance, no question.
Maybe sensing that he may have not been at the top of his game, but that's okay because Dale Brown did what Dale Brown does best, and he wore down his opponent and won the fight.
He fought to win and not to please. But at the end of the day, he retained his title in his #1 spot.
Again, usually long time to come up with this decision, but
I have it clear cut 116-112. I think Gijuta had him about 6 points or more. I've had 8-4 in rounds in my card.
Christian Tetreault is our ring announcer, and as soon as he's handed the envelope, he will be making the announcement. But
voici la décision des juges. Here is the judge's decision. Le juge Cunningham, 115-113 en faveur de Dale Brown. Judge Cunningham, 115-113 for Dale Brown.
Close,
Le juge Hirsch, 115-113 en faveur de Brown. Judge Hirsch calls it 115-113 for Dale Brown. Et le juge Lapointe and Judge Lapointe, 117-111 pour Dale Brown. Dale Brown, gagnant par décision unanime, winner by unanimous decision. Et toujours champion lourd léger de la North American Boxing Federation. Still the Cruiserweight Division Championship for NABF.
Won it. Good close fight. Good call.
interesting reaction in the corner of Abdul Aziz as the announcement came down that it was a unanimous decision. And all three, the two trainers and Aziz himself, shook their heads. Yes, that's what it was.
Yes. One had it by 6 points. I think it was a bit wide margin. I had it by 4, but it was a good fight.
A big part of Dale Brown's boxing career is his wife. She's ringside right now taking some pictures.
Good. And I would not be surprised to see Dale Brown fighting for the World Championship in his very next fight.
But that won't happen June 29th because, of course, Dale Brown was cut in this fight. Good job, Dale Brown, as he is now 19-0-1 with 14 knockouts, ranked number 2 by the WBC, the current NABF Cruiserweight champion. Aziz falls to 12-5-4. And still to come tonight, Stéphane Ouellet and Davey Hilton Jr. But next, Fatih Moussaoui and Andre Blais. And that'll be a 4-rounder as Brown exits the ring, and as soon as our Charles-Andre Marchand is ready, then we'll get a chance to hear from Dale Brown, the current NABF Cruiserweight champion.
And it'll be interesting because I think Dale, again, how he evaluates his performance. Consummate performance.
Charles-André, tu me le fais en anglais après.
But again, the idea is to win the fight, retain your title, and go on to fight for the world title.
And we had the opportunity of listening inside the ring, and I know that Dale Brown's corner was telling him to be very careful when he had his opponent up against the ropes.
The reason is
we're joined by Stéphane Larouche.
The reason is we've seen a Terrapit named Aziz with two good fighters named Castillo, a Cuban 11-0, who was trying to knock him out in the rope. So he teased the guy in the rope, and he's got very good power with the right hand. So we don't want to get catch with that little thing. So
Stand by.
And Dale is ranked number 1 in the world. There's no risk we can take in that fight.
Stéphane Larouche, thank you very much. Great job on the part of Bob Miller and the guys to close that cut after the third round. That's when Dale
We're
Brown
going to Charles-André.
Terrific.
was injured. So let's go to Charles-André.
Go in there and box. He's got a big right hand. He's a really strong guy. I wanted to go in there. I wanted to be smart. Caught me a couple times early. Just I was a little sloppy. My punches weren't quite as crisp as I wanted them early on in the fight. But it really came on in the later part of the fight. He couldn't keep up with my quickness.
How could you explain to the start? You had a slow start in this fight. What happened?
I had a slow start because we watched tapes on this guy. We had to watch out early. He's got a big right hand. He's a really heavy puncher. But maybe I was a little too cautious. I wasn't as quick with my jab. But I felt strong. I went 12 easy rounds. I wasn't
I'm
tired.
going with you on cam
So I just got to
after
get a little
that.
bit Christmas back in the gym. I just want to say hi to everybody back in Calgary watching the fights. Thanks for the support, guys. Love and miss you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Alors voilà donc Dale Brown qui nous
Stand by,
expliquait
Dino.
qu'il se méfiait de la main droite de son adversaire. C'est un adversaire...
There we go. We're on camera.
Hello.